is that, and so is that. It's just this really weird season that we're trying to be able to figure all this out. Anyway, what questions have y'all got? Things that you've been tracking in the news, or anything else I can fill in, or any really hard questions you can ask?
Any of this far left wild stuff, should the average American be concerned that it could impinge on our freedoms long term?
If it's executive actions, another president can undo it immediately. That's not the long-term detriment. It's when he puts regulations in place that are really hard to pull out, or when they try to pass a statute, when they try to pass a law. It's much harder to pull a law out than just to put one in. Can be done, but it's much harder to be able to do. So, because there's always a constituency for it that are always arguing for it once it exists. But let me give you an example. Biden right now is going after Second Amendment issues, hard. And his new focus is there's crime in America, so when you get rid of ghost guns, which are guns used to be able to fight against ghosts, that's what they're for. No. The ghost guns, as he's calling them all the time, are a gun without a serial number on it. They're typically kits. People will order online a Revolutionary War black powder rifle that they can put all the parts together and make a black powder rifle. The problem is when it's a kit, there's not a serial number for it. And so he's calling that a threat because it's a gun without a serial number. He calls it an untraceable gun. Anyone who's been around firearms before, has ever sold a personal firearm, knows that the only time you have a serial number for a firearm is the first owner. Every owner after that, it doesn't transition with a serial number on it. So this whole thing about, I'm going to take on unregistered firearms by making sure I control ghost guns on it, may sound ominous to people that are not familiar with firearms. It's just not any different than a normal firearm. What they're trying to do is to be able to push gun registration, because they know it's going to come and say, well, we got to get a serial number on that one, and then they can say, well, the other serial number guns that are out there, we also don't know the second owner for them, so we want to be able to trace every single transaction. That's really where they're headed, but step one is get a serial number on every kit. So we're pushing back, saying this is absurd. And by the way, if you can't legally own a firearm, like if you've committed a felony offense, if you've committed domestic violence, either misdemeanor or felony, you can't legally own a firearm in America. That's true of a kit gun or of a gun that you buy already put together. It's the same. You can't own a firearm, it's not legal. But that's not what they're going after. The other thing they're going after is pistol braces. Pistol braces are like if you're using a pistol, or sometimes it's used for ARs, that they'll actually have a little clamp that's here on your arm to help you just hold it and aim it. I think they're annoying, quite frankly, but some people really like them. They want to go after the pistol braces, saying that they're a problem, but they can't show there's actually crime being committed because of pistol braces. So it's that kind of stuff that they're going after, but they're just trying to be able to snap around the edges because they can't actually get anything passed through us. So yeah, it's important long term, but in the short term, we got lots to do on it. Be vigilant.